Greetings and welcome back to Gadfly Academy. I hope you enjoyed our book study of Neil Postman's Amusing Ourselves to Death as much as I did. I always find new and helpful insights when I reread it. One of my struggles with developing Gadfly Academy has been trying to figure out what is the most important topic to address next. I have spent the past few months soul-searching, speaking with friends, and seeking an answer to this question. There are more than a lifetime of topics, issues, and concerns to address. So which one to tackle next is the question. As my mother likes to ask, how long is a piece of string? That is to say, there is no right answer. But one topic that I continue to return to is that of attention. At the end of the day, near the heart of the problem of our relationship with technology is the problem of attention. There are certainly other problems, even deeper problems, that manifest in our thorny relationship with technology. But the problem of attention is perhaps the issue that is most immediate, and perhaps that can be most directly addressed as well. So in the weeks and months to come, I plan to focus my attention on the question of attention. As always, I'm very glad to have you along for this journey, for this new leg in this journey. So the problem of attention. So Facebook was created in 2004, and the iPhone was introduced in 2007. Those are kind of milestones in modern technology, certainly. So we now have the better part of 2 decades to have studied the effects of the smartphone and social media, among other technologies, on our culture. And the results are, to me at least, unsurprisingly dire. Most people probably don't need to be convinced that we are suffering from an attention crisis, but in case there are skeptics in our midst, I thought I'd begin by offering a brief overview of some of the latest scientific studies on this topic. I should note that while many studies appear inconclusive, because this is a new topic of inquiry and often studies require time, obviously, to really get a sense of the effects, there is a growing body of evidence that corroborates what most of us already intuitively know. So the following is just a small sample of some of the more conclusive studies. I'll just read the title of the study and then have a brief excerpt from the conclusion. So the first study is entitled Associations Between Screen Use, Learning, and Concentration Among Children and Young People in Western Countries, a Scoping Review. And all of these will be, there'll be links below the video if you'd like to look at the full study. So here's a quote from the conclusion. Overall, studies indicate that the amount of time spent on digital devices is associated with concentration difficulties. Media multitasking with social media is negatively associated with concentration and academic performance. The next study is titled The Relationship Between Media Multitasking and Attention, a 3-level meta-analysis. And again, from the results, the conclusion, quote, the results revealed a significant positive correlation between media multitasking and attention. And here's one from a study titled Blocking Mobile Internet on Smartphones Improves Sustained Attention, Mental Health, and Subjective Well-Being. and here from the conclusion. These results provide causal evidence that blocking mobile internet can improve important psychological outcomes and suggest that maintaining the status quo of constant connection to the internet may be detrimental to time use, cognitive functioning, and well-being. And here's a study titled Association of Digital Media Use with Subsequent Symptoms of Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder Among Adolescents. And the conclusion, among adolescents followed up over 2 years, there was a statistically significant but modest association between higher frequency of digital media use and subsequent symptoms of ADHD. Just a few more. This one's entitled Phone in the Room, Mind on the Roam, Investigating the Impact of Mobile Phone Presence on Distraction. And here from the conclusion, although the passive presence of mobile phones did not significantly distract attention or impair performance on attentional tasks, self-reported levels of distraction addiction and nomophobia were found to be associated with subjective experiences of mobile phone-related concerns regarding mobile phone use. Nomophobia, as an aside, I had to look up. That's a new word for me. It is essentially the fear of being separated from one's phone. This next study is titled Associations Between Screen Time Use and Health Outcomes Among U.S. Teenagers. And here from the conclusion, quote, findings from this study highlight associations between increased screen time and a variety of poorer health outcomes spanning across multiple domains, including mental health and perceived support. And finally, the last study is entitled Mobile Phone Short Video Use Negatively Impacts Attention Functions, an EEG study, essentially TikTok type videos has a negative impact. Should not be a surprise, but here is the part from the conclusion. Quote, we found a significant negative correlation between short video addiction tendency and neural oscillation index, reflecting the executive control network in the frontal area. This finding suggests that a higher propensity for short video addiction may impair executive control. Furthermore, we identified a strong negative correlation between short video addiction and self-control abilities, indicating that higher addiction levels are associated with diminished self-control. Again, none of these probably should be come as a surprise. That said, there are certainly people that don't see this as a huge problem. And again, we're relatively early still in the studies coming out, but they are certainly going to be continuing to look at the effects of technology on attention and on other aspects, especially among children. That said, the science is fine, but we all have anecdotal evidence. We all have our own experience, personal experiences with technology. Most of this should be by now probably kind of intuitively understood by most people. So I think it should be clear that there's a problem, which is why I'm going to be looking more closely at the question of attention and technology. One of the difficulties with addressing the problem of attention, of course, is that it does not resemble a fire, which again is part of the reason people can kind of pretend that the problem doesn't exist. So it doesn't necessarily need fire. Obviously needs to be put out immediately. This attention issue doesn't maybe seem to be in the same category. Attention is more like a slow-growing cancer that you think is in remission. The modern world constantly provides us with fires that need to be put out, and so addressing the issue of attention can seem like an unnecessary luxury that can wait until a later time. The reality, of course, is that attention is actually a fire that needs to be addressed immediately. and we'll consider why this is the case in next week's installment. So stay tuned. As always, if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you have a friend who might find videos like this of interest, please share. Also, in the meantime, I did want to ask, now that I've introduced the new topic that we're going to be looking at, how do you feel about the topic of attention? Is it a topic that you have thought about? Does it concern you? Are there aspects of it that you would like me to look at more closely? When I bring it up with friends, when like I said, I've been trying to figure out what the next topic should be. Most people have said that it is something that they've thought about. I'm just interested to hear your thoughts. Is it, we can all point at technology, that's the easy culprit. But then the question, like I said earlier, is, what is the problem with technology? I think there's a lot of problems with technology, but one of the core problems is that it steals our attention. So I'm just interested in your thinking on this. Like I said, if there are specific aspects of the topic you'd like me to look at, please mention them in the comments section below. Finally, if you'd like to watch our other videos on attention, there is going to be a playlist in the upper right of the screen once there's a second video to add to the playlist. So if you're watching this after the second video has come out, the playlist will be there. Thanks for your attention. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.